Hello, my name is Coline. I am an ASW Case Manager here at the Family Justice Center. I've been here for 6 years. Typical day here at the Family Justice Center for a case manager is we will get an intake from the front. We'll look over it to see what kind of services that they're asking for, and then we'll call them in. We'll ask them if they need some water, coffee, and we want them to feel as comfortable as possible so that they can share their story with us and not have to be worried and stressed. So we want it to be a very stressful environment. We'll bring them into a room, we'll sit down, and I like to just let them talk. I want to hear what they've gone through, what they need, and then I'll ask a few questions to try to clarify so we can try to make sure we get them the best resources and the best help possible. So then once I'm done with the client, we'll do safety planning. We'll go over some assessments. The danger assessment's a big one that I'd like to do with them, because a lot of times clients minimize some of the stuff that they've gone through because they're normalized it. They've lived it for no telling how long they've lived in the environment they've been in. So we'll go over a danger assessment and we'll talk about it. Sometimes I'll ask them questions that they didn't realize was abuse, and then we'll go over the cycle of abuse and we'll educate a little bit more. And by the time they leave, they're in a better spot than when they first came in here. Sometimes they'll come in here crying, and then when they leave, they're smiling and they have hope. The most common challenges that survivors face is, I would say, housing and having to rebuild. A lot of times they've relied so much on their abusers that they're financially dependent on them. They don't have a house because the house is in their name. So a lot of the struggles is they feel like they have to stay in that environment because they don't have finances of their own. They weren't able to work. They've been isolated from their families. And so I feel like we help them build their confidence back up and empower them to be able to know that they could do it on their own. We'll help them with housing. We'll help navigate the housing system. We'll find them shelter. Maybe we'll place them in a motel for a few nights to help, clear their mind. Also, with sometimes they haven't had to work, so we'll help them with fixing a resume. We'll talk about what interviews look like, and yeah. I build trust with the survivors when they are struggling to find hope or even trust people. They've been let down a lot by the DA who doesn't file the charges. They've been let down by law enforcement at times because they get re-victimized. Sometimes they're defending themselves and then they go to jail. So a lot of times survivors, when they come in here, they're not trusting. They don't want to talk. So I like to build the trust with them by talking with them and letting them know that it's an open place. I don't hide from them that I'm a mandated reporter. I let them know what that means. And then I let them talk. And sometimes all they want to do is be heard. And so I built the trust by just hearing them and listening to them and letting them know that the feelings that they feel are normal and natural and that they're not crazy. So one of my favorite memories is I had a client that came in. She was at her worst time ever. She had to leave her home with nothing but her clothes on her back and her 4 children. We were able to put them in a motel for a while, and then we were able to connect them with our housing, and they were able to help navigate the housing system. They were in a motel for about a year. They had to go to quite a few different motels, and then finally they were able to get housing, and she just recently got a job. Today's a big day of giving. Any donation is gratefully appreciated, or share with your friends and family a little bit about our agency, but anything helps.